What's going on, moviegoers? So if you're new to the channel, my name is Christian. Welcome to C-Roll Productions. You guys, there's an idea floating around I saw. Deadpool kills the X-Men Fox universe. Now think about that for a third Deadpool installment before he officially joins the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think that would be such a fun, creative, unique idea to really put past that franchise and have this bulk of his characters, the whole Deadpool universe, completely transfer over into the MCU. Now imagine Deadpool legit going ham and killing Magneto, Professor X, all the young X-Men, from X-Men Apocalypse and, Dark Phoenix, all of those movies. Can you imagine Marvel Studios was like, you know what? Let's do this. We're going to do a Deadpool, like, instead of the whole, initial comic book, Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, they do Deadpool kills the X-Men universe. The Fox, you have to attach the Fox X-Men universe to that title for really, really to make sense. I feel like it would be so outrageous and crazy. We would have never seen anything like that before. And I feel like it would be a fresh start moving forward with that character. Especially by the end of the movie, you see the whole multiverse or whatever they decide to do, and however they decide to bring Deadpool and his universe over to the MCU. That would be so exciting, and I would love to see that, because realistically, that X-Men universe is kind of in the same universe as Deadpool, especially after watching Deadpool 2. They all had like a little cameo in the X-Mansion in that one room, so they are technically in that universe. But then, you have to talk the whole schematics and formalities, you know what I mean? You got to call Fassbender, you have to call McAvoy. Hey, do you guys want to return and do this wild and crazy movie in, the Marvel Studios logo? Hey, yeah, sure, why not? What's going to happen? Oh, Deadpool's going to kill you guys all. Like, something along those lines, I feel like would be such a creative, fun, and unique idea for a third Deadpool movie. And then you later on sprinkle, Deadpool, and throughout the entirety of the MCU. And then you give him a Deadpool 4 movie, whatever you decide to do. But I feel like that would really work. That would really work. Or even if they, because I don't know the particular plans of what Marvel Studios has in mind when incorporating Deadpool and that universe into the MCU. Nobody knows. I know that Ryan Reynolds has had interviews. He's had meetings with Marvel Studios. But nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody even knows if there's going to be a Deadpool 3 movie. Like Rob Liefeld, one of the co-creators of Deadpool and one of the worst comic book artists out there, he's a firm believer that no, Deadpool is done. There won't be any kind of Deadpool movies, nothing whatsoever. But then he also gets a lot of hate, you know what I mean? It's just, I'm not believing anything what that guy says. I'm really not, because he has no involvement with what Marvel Studios is doing over there with Deadpool. All he will do is collect a check, and that's it. But like I said, it's gonna be a very interesting thing to see how they create a universe while introducing Deadpool into that universe with the whole rebuilding phase of the MCU. Like, that's going to be interesting to me. I'm curious to see how they're going to do that. And even just introducing the whole term mutants. Now they can use mutants instead of miracles, like in Winter Soldier. God, that was so bad. So bad. I will never forget that when we saw Quicksilver and we saw Scarlet Witch, and the Russian dude was like, oh, it's a world of miracles. I was like, oh, what? You mean mutants? But out of the whole copyright thing, they can't use that term because 20th Century Fox owned that term for the X-Men, unfortunately. But like I said, I'm still very hyped. I cannot wait to see, the entirety reboot of the X-Men franchise into the MCU, casting whatever they have in mind. Like, I'm so pumped. We probably won't see anything X-Men until going into Phase 5, possibly even Phase 6. Because, X-Men, we just had X-Men. We had Dark Phoenix last year, and we have New Mutants right now. Well, not right now, but later this year, if it gets released. Nobody knows if that's official yet. It's supposed to hit in August, actually. Don't know if that's happening. Doubt it's going to happen. But like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what really happens with the entirety of the X-Men. Because I'm not the only person out there who wants to see the X-Men. Everybody wants to see the X-Men, and we want to see the X-Men done right. Not saying that the past X-Men films weren't done right. We've had great X-Men films. I love the first X-Men movie. I love X2. I love the Wolverine. I love Logan. You know what I mean? I love Deadpool 1 and 2. I love Days of Future Past. I love First Class. So we've had some really successful X-Men movies over there that Fox delivered. But I want to see more. I really want to see more mutants brought into the bigger picture, like introducing Gambit, like, actually utilizing Jubilee. Like, there's so much potential that they have to do with these X-Men that they didn't. I want to see Cyclops be the actual leader of the X-Men and not just being in the back seat. Like, the only time we legit got to see Cyclops be the leader was in the first X-Men movie, and that was it. That was it. But it's crazy, man. It's crazy. There's also a lot of info going around right now, revolving around Bryan Singer in the first X-Men movie, how he had Hugh Jackman do this stunt, and Hugh Jackman got really hurt, and the majority of the cast rolled up to Bryan Singer's what is it called, trailer, and they legit told this dude off. Halle Berry apparently said, "Kiss my black ass." Like, they were really upset about that. So it's interesting to hear all these not rumors, but these past stories with these X-Men, this X-Men franchise, from the early 2000s. And apparently Michael Jackson wanted to play Professor X. He actually, talked to somebody over there with one of the producers, and they're like, "You do realize he's white and bald?" He was like, "Well, I can wear makeup." Shaq was apparently, he wanted to be a mutant or an X-Men. I don't know who the hell he would have played. Shaq is a big ass man, you know what I mean? But a lot of the interesting little details are dropping, and I'm finding them very interesting. You know what I mean? Because this is, stuff that happens behind closed doors that nobody knows. Like, everybody thinks that the whole movie industry is all, peanut butter cups and sunshines, and no, there's some deep, dark shit that goes on, that's been going on for a while. Like, you never know what's going on. The whole Ellen DeGeneres shit that's happening right now. You know what I mean? Like, the whole, behind the scenes stuff that employees were getting mistreated, racially profiled, things of that nature. So that's huge. You never know what goes on set unless you're on set. The whole Ray Fisher thing and Joss Whedon. Look at that. Like, sometimes, it's like any job. You may have some beef at your job, something that's going on between you and your manager, or you and a couple of employees. You just never know. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens, you guys. Please post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about a potential Deadpool 3 in the MCU where he kills the entirety of the Fox X-Men franchise. Do you think that's a good idea? Please post your comments down below. And thank you for taking time today for watching CeeRo Productions. Peace.
We out.